Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, this week is a big week. We have the Fed with the FOMC meeting, but we're also gonna get some GDP numbers. So does that mean we will be entering recession, or are we in recession already? Right? And what does this mean overall? Will it be devastating to markets, including Bitcoin, crypto, US equities, everything, right? Let's talk about these things and whether or not we should be fearful or greedy. Smash up the like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of all my streams. Make sure you check out CryptosRUs.com, check out my social media pages, and make sure you subscribe to the brand new Clips channel and my I Am George channel, which a lot of you guys are subscribed to. Welcome, guys. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. So right now, Bitcoin is at 21.1, so down a little bit. This morning, of course, we had some jitters, some Fed jitters, pre-Fed jitters, and I talked about it this morning, right? So, of course, this week is absolutely enormous. One of the biggest weeks that could set the stage for the remaining of this year, right? We have a lot of earnings, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. We have a FOMC meeting that is going to start tomorrow, and we'll get a conclusion of that on Wednesday. But we're also going to get GDP numbers, right? Measuring the growth or slowness of the U.S. economy. So let's talk about that. So we know that things haven't looked so good over the last 6 months, 7 months. The very first quarter for the U.S. GDP numbers came down. And officially, when you have 2 consecutive quarters where the GDP goes down, the gross domestic product, right? If you have 2 consecutive quarters where GDP goes down, that means you're officially in recession, right? Again, this is a lagging indicator. So whatever comes out this Thursday that's measuring GDP of Q2, of course, it already happened, right? Because we're past it. So all these indicators, all these models, all these numbers, data is all lagging. So technically speaking, we're already in recession. Since Q2, since April, May, June, you could argue we were already in recession, but we're finally going to get confirmation this Thursday, right? I think everyone thinks and everyone knows that GDP numbers will show that we had more slowness, and yes, then we can officially declare that the U.S. is in recession. Right? But this is unlike any other recession before. This is one of the only recession in my lifetime, and many of you guys could chime in if you have lived through recessions that's similar, but we're in a recession where the labor force is still strong. Unemployment is still low, at a 40-year low, and there are companies that are still struggling to hire employees. That doesn't sound like a normal recession at all, right? So that is why many people are thinking this recession will not be nearly as bad as some of the previous recessions before. Yes, there's economic slowness. Yes, that's on purpose because the Fed wants to stop inflation, and that is what the rate hikes, I should say, are doing to slow down the economy, right? So is this a recession that's caused purposefully by the Fed and by the U.S. government? Yes, right? But Biden has come out and said, don't worry about it. We're not going to go in recession. He's probably very wrong. He's going to be wrong about that, like his phantom handshakes on stage. There's no doubt that GDP number will come out and show that Q2 numbers went down. There's economic slowness. We're technically in recession. But the good thing is we may be past it already. We may be because this is lagging, we may be past it and we're already recovering, right? Just like a lot of people now thinking that inflation has topped out and inflation is coming down. So, will it devastate the markets? I think a lot of the devastation already happened. I think the big drop from NASDAQ down 30, 40%, S&P down 20%, Dow down like close to 20%. The devastation already happened. Are we going to see more devastation just because GDP numbers officially declared that we're in recession? I don't think so. But this Fed rate hike, the FOMC meeting that's going to come on Wednesday, that's going to have a bigger effect. Is Powell going to release, a 100 basis point rate hike, right? Some people think that he needs to, but many people think, no, he's not going to be that hawkish. He's still going to stick with 75 basis points, which is what he said last month he would do, right? Is he going to change his tune and go more hawkish and go 100 basis points? Even if he does, it seems like that's already priced in. I think people are fearing that he may front load more rate hikes by going even higher, 125 basis points or 150 basis points. I just don't see that happening, but we don't have to wait much longer. We only got 2 more days before it happens. And then we have GDP numbers coming out the day afterwards, and we still have more earnings coming out this week. So this is why there's a lot of stuff going on this week. But not all hope is lost. There's still very good things happening, especially with Bitcoin and crypto. And I'll get to those things in a little bit. I did mention about earnings. I did want to mention this kind of sets the tone for retailers. Walmart did come out and say that they're cutting their forecast for the remaining of this year. Their profits are going to be lower, and they're blaming it on inflation because of the higher prices. People are not buying nearly as much. It makes sense. Things are way more expensive now than even 6 months ago or a year ago, right? So it makes sense people are cutting back. This killed Walmart, down 10% aftermarket. And not only that, it brought down Target, and then it brought down Amazon. Even Amazon's down 4% because of this news, right? So there's definitely slowness. There's economic slowness out there. So let's see how the remainder of the big companies are set to report, if they're going to report the same thing. If they're all coming out and saying it's going to be horrible for the remaining of the year, that may sway the market. But I have a feeling some of those companies won't be reporting nearly as bad as what Walmart did, right? So we'll have to see. But some of the big tech companies like Amazon and Microsoft and Facebook and Apple and Google, they are set to report this week as well. All right, moving on. What else is going on? If you're a fan of burritos or Chipotle, well, they do have a new giveaway. Buy the dip. They have a 200K crypto giveaway. I'm not so sure this is the best time to be offering crypto giveaway, but you know what? People love their burritos and people love their burrito bowls, which I'm a big fan of, and they love free crypto. So I don't even know how this exactly works, but you have to go to this website, buythedip.xyz, and then you're playing, and then you could be rewarded with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche, or Dogecoin. It's something to do with guacamole. I'm not actually sure how to play, but I did see this. So in case you guys are Chipotle fans, burrito fans, you may want to take advantage because you're going to be buying burritos anyways. All right, now moving on, let's talk about liquidations. NFT, welcome to the channel. Liquidations, sky high for longs. Again, you have, several 100 million longs liquidated, right? There's just too many people playing with too much leverage. There's just too much leverage out there. Right? Unfortunately, I'm still seeing a lot of channels. It's okay if there's a lot of channels that, to show you all these charts and kind of makes predictions of where things go. Sometimes I do that too. That's fine. But there's too many channels that's trying to get people to copy trade them now, right? And especially when they sign up with these exchanges, they don't really know what they're doing, and they start playing with leverage, they just get absolutely wrecked whenever there's little movements here or there, right? So you could see that, overall, we were okay until today and yesterday, and then we got like 200 million worth of longs liquidated, and of course that's not good. That's having an effect on the market and, of course, the people that got liquidated, right? So be careful with liquidations. Don't listen to Jacob, who says playing with 50x leverage is the way to get rich. No, don't listen to Jacob. Don't play with 50x leverage. All right, what else is there? Well, on to good news. On to Bitcoin, right? This whole recession talk has a lot of people spooked. Well, Bitcoin Magazine wants to remind people that Bitcoin still has outperformed the S&P 500 by 130% this month, right? So it's not just Bitcoin that's down and low, but every index and majority of the stocks out there has been decimated. Now, some of them have made no recovery, unlike Bitcoin. Bitcoin seems to have found that bottom, starting to come back up, right? Not all the way. It's going to be a slow journey, I think. That's pretty much like all previous bottoms. It's a slow journey for recovery, and eventually then we'll declare we finally had that bottom after enough time has passed. But that's what it seems like right now. We're on our way to go higher, but it's going to be a slow process, right? But hey, it's still better than some of the other stocks out there right now. And then, of course, right now, there's still a ton of holders. I've shown you guys so many metrics and models indicating that the holders are not going anywhere. The holders, like you and I, we are staying put. We have seen worse, either that or we just truly believe. We don't trust what the governments are doing around the world. We don't trust Fed Chair Powell or any other central bank out there, right, as they continue to apply quantitative tightening now, right, and quantitative easing before, maybe too much easing, and now they have to tighten. It just seems like it's a vicious circle that's not going to end well, right, when you have trillions and trillions and trillions of fiat just sloshing around, minted out of thin air and being distributed, now taken away. I mean, it's just a whole lot of stuff that's going on, and more people are not liking it and turning to Bitcoin. So not only are Bitcoin holders not selling, but we're getting newcomers into the space too, and that's fantastic. This article talks about 3 signs that indicate a macro bottom for Bitcoin. These are not like not any big surprises, let's just say. This one is just looking at from a technical side. You're looking at the RSI, whether or not Bitcoin is oversold. It's a little bit hard to see, but on top, yes, Bitcoin on a monthly scale and on a weekly scale, very, very oversold. So can we have a good bounce because of the oversold levels? Sure. That's one. Newpool, which calculates basically how many people are in a loss or in a profit, right? And again, you look at some of the previous times when it was very, very, very scary. Bitcoin formed the bottom, and we were there for many, many months, right? That's usually when you want to buy. Those are the generational buying opportunities. And we're in one of those periods right now, and it looks like we're flipping upwards too. So kind of another model that shows that, yeah, we're at bottom, it's a good time to buy. And this one, PL multiple, is actually measuring profitability of miners, whether or not the miners need to dump if they're in the profit or if they're operating at a loss, right? And they are definitely not operating at a loss right now. This is still heading up. In fact, I did talk to someone at Hut 8 just a few weeks ago. I was just curious. I'm like, what is your profitability level, or how much does it cost for you to mine a Bitcoin? And they told me it was around $18,000. So right now, obviously, anything above 20, they're still making money. It's not affecting them. So the miners are not looking to dump anytime soon, and they are still accumulating, and many are not selling even a single one. They want to make sure they are filling their bags for the future. All right. All right, let's see. What else is there? Tether, last news, really has nothing to do with anything, but Tether is launching some new P2P video chat called Keet. Keet or Ket? Keet. And it's with a sister company, Bitfinex. So, yeah, I don't trust either company. I don't trust Bitfinex, and I don't trust Tether. So I don't know why they decided to come out with video chat. It's supposed to be encrypted, decentralized chat. I don't think anyone's going to trust it. But anyways, just thought I'd bring that up. And then lastly, for those of you guys that want to test your luck and you're in the U.S., just to remind you guys, the Mega Millions is now at 810 million. So screw Bitcoin. Just sell all your Bitcoin. Go buy Mega Million tickets, right? That's the surest way to make you a millionaire, maybe even a billionaire. Just kidding. Just kidding. Do not do that. Do not do that. Buying a few bucks, sure. Buy $20, sure. Don't go all in on Mega Million tickets. All right, guys. That is it. Let's do some Q&A. I grabbed some yesterday. Grabbed about $20 worth. No, $10 worth. Winning the lottery is so hard that even getting two numbers seems like it's an impossibility. I have bought so many lottery tickets over the years. The most I've ever gotten was 3, but usually I don't even get 1. And getting 2 is next to impossible. Waterfly. George, do you respect Bitcoin? If not, he will sue you. What are you talking about, Waterfly? What are you talking about? You need to provide some more context. I've always said I'm going to respect BitBoy, Ben, what he has done. Built up a tremendous audience, built up his channel and his company, and he has helped me in the past, especially when I was, just coming to, I guess, back in 2021. My channel went through a lot of stuff. It was banned for months, came back, lost most of my audience, but I was starting to get in a groove, and he did help me cover about F2 pool at the time, brought some attention to my channel, so I respect him for it. And overall, he's been pretty cool with me. I know he tends to attack others, but yeah, I respect BitBoy. Not because you said he's going to sue me. It's just overall, he has helped me in the past, and he does have a large audience and continues to educate them as well. Maybe not in the same manner I do, but he's still, doing his best as well. Rich Q, how do you keep your family and kiddos grounded now they have life-changing wealth and can buy them almost anything? It's hard. Luckily, my kids are still young, so they've gotten used to the fact that, yeah, we can, do a lot of stuff, a lot more stuff now than before, but it's not going to their heads. So that's the good thing. Now, my fear is as they get older, they're going to start getting used to some of the life-changing things in their life. And that may make them different, but me and my wife are trying our hardest to make sure that they're not going to turn out to be like rich spoiled brats, right? That's one of my fears. But right now they seem to be okay, pretty grounded. We still try to keep a normal life as much as possible, but of course there are some things that are different. Yeah, that's the best way I could say about that. You don't know how to pick good numbers, Ray. I'm sure you're an expert at picking lotto numbers. Do you agree BTC will go up once none Bitcoin to mine? Yeah, we won't be around for that. That's in 2140. So, yeah, the last few Bitcoins is going to take over 100 years to mine. So, you and I will not be around when that happens. Mike Warren. Well, I'm glad you did find me and came over. Do I consider myself a teacher? Not really. Not really. I don't know. I like to preach sometimes. I like to teach others my mistakes, what I've learned, right? But I'm not a official teacher. I don't have, curriculum or fancy degrees. I have a bachelor's degree, that's it. I don't have a doctorate or master degrees in anything. Teach your teach your kids to trade leverage altcoins. No thanks. No thanks. Um, I saw your jumper. We need to work on that. Yeah. Oh, well, first of all, I need to fix my knee. My knee is so horrible. I can't do jack. I can't jump. I can't do anything really. I need to fix my knee first of all. What kind of microphone do I use for my show? It's a Rode, one of the newer Rodes where it's a USB. It works pretty well as long as you're pretty close to it. It'll auto adjust, so if you're far away, it just like mutes it out. So you have to keep it pretty close to your mouth. What do you do for living a part of crypto? That's pretty much what I do. Just all crypto stuff and YouTube stuff. I mean, I just created a video on my I Am George channel today. I posted about, some of the behind the scenes stuff that I look at and think about. But yeah, this is what I do. SEC versus Coinbase. I haven't seen that yet. What are your thoughts on AMP being one of the securities pointed out by SEC? You know what? I don't know. I haven't heard about it, but SEC is basically taking a stance that any crypto outside of Bitcoin is a security because you can make a profit from it, right? The expectation is to make a profit. That's why people buy, right? I think that's their only really what they're clinging on. Now, a lot of the projects did have ICO in the U.S., so you can go after them saying they had an unregistered security offering, but the ones that had ICO, say, overseas, they can't really go after, right? So I don't know. Their definition, they're not really defined well, and with what's going on with Ripple shows that they're pretty desperate. They're pretty desperate. And if they let's just say, if they lose that case against Ripple, they're going to have a problem. They're going to have a big problem in the future declaring other project securities. Rich, are other crypto channels supportive of each other, or is it more free for all? I've noticed other channels tuning in my channel. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, I try to stay away. I try not to, I'm kind of like a lone wolf. Although I have met and talked to many of them before, but try to do my own thing. I hope that most channels are supportive of each other. You could tell that some channels are very friendly with each other. But at the end of the day, we're all competing with each other, right? So I think a lot of people are just nice overall. And I do think a lot of people do respect a lot of other, influencers and there's a lot of collaboration going on and so forth, right? And I think that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, you got to figure out how to make yourself different from others so that you win or you get the views, right? So that's kind of how I look at it. With 5K, what crypto would you buy and why? If you're starting out, fly. Okay, you're starting out, I would just stick with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, especially at 21,000 right now, 5K Bitcoin, I think that's a pretty good start. But if for sure you can't get any more, that is your life savings, and you're putting everything into Bitcoin right now, right? Don't put it all on once. Take that 5K, spread it out 5 ways. Maybe put 1K into Bitcoin right now, wait it out and see. If it goes down more, then you can put another K. If it goes down more, you can put another K. If it doesn't go down more, it's great. You're starting to make money already, and then decide what to do with the remaining 4K. So I would say don't go all in if that is everything you have. Of course, if you could keep making side income or extra income that you could DC over long term, then set a schedule for yourself, right? And then after you learn about Bitcoin and so forth, then I would say look at Ethereum and look at some of the others. But start with Bitcoin. Why doesn't the SEC classify crypto in its own category? Can make regulations without have it? Because they're either lazy or they don't want to. I mean, it's one of the two. It's going to be hard to classify it as its own thing. Do you really own 0 XRP? And if so, what would it take for you to join the XRP army? At this point in time, I really do own 0 XRP. Previous times before, I did hold on some XRP, but right now 0. Because, over the years, I've come to the realization that holding on XRP is just it's just not smart. If you've been holding XRP since 2017, and in 2017 XRP peaked at 318, and you've been holding since 2017 till now, that's 5 years. In 5 years, you're still down 90%, right? But everything else has gone up thousands of percents. So, that's why I've sold off XRP. I'm like, it's just not worth holding on to. I would say after now, XRP does have some good things going on now. If they win the SEC lawsuit, that would be absolutely huge. Jem McCaleb also stopped selling. He's out of XRP to sell, right? So these two things are very positive for XRP. And if Ripple themselves can figure out how to make money without selling XRP through their other services, that will also be fantastic because there's less selling pressure, right? But yeah, it's been horrible holding on XRP. Absolutely horrible. KDA is the way. I am a fan of Cadena. There's a lot of people that are fans of Cadena. I do think that they have good promise, but for you Cadena shillers, maybe calm it down a notch. Love that personal video you did on my other channel. It's really motivating. I appreciate it. I try to do. I Am George channel is more like a vlog channel. Share a little bit more about what I've learned and things that I want to do. I'm trying to turn it into more of a vlog channel, so you guys could check it out. Kareem, thank you for that. I sold my Cardano NFTs and transferred to USDC account. The market will not screw me this time. Well, you better cross your fingers. Cardano NFTs, I don't even know which ones you had. I mean, Cardano NFTs, some of them did really well, so I don't even know. If you made a profit and now you locked in a profit by buying USDC with it, congratulations. No one ever gets hurt by taking profits. No one ever goes broke by taking profits. You could lose out on tremendous gains, but at least, by definition, if you're taking profit, you're making gains and you're locking it in, right? So, FIFA World Cup NFT collection, that is with Algorand. Algorand has a big FIFA collaboration. People love selling near bottoms. That is 100% true. That is 100% true. Are you still okay with that? Yes, I am. I'm still waiting for them to break out. I still think they're doing the right thing, trying to build and expand while things are low, but they're catering to the West now, and I think that's a big thing. Are you streaming the Fed meeting in a couple of days? I think so. I've done so before, but they have been very, very, very boring. Very boring. And the press just asks the same questions over and over and over, and it's the same. It's like the same press, people. It's like 20 people, and they always ask the same thing, even though he already stated in his statement. So, yeah. Man, whew, I am sick and I'm not feeling too good. This whole day I've been feeling bad. Really bad. Gala games, film, music going to blow up. I think Gala's in a really good position. I've not been paying attention to music and films, but from the game perspective, they have like 6 games or 6 coming games. They have like 2 now, but they're definitely growing for sure. Rich Q, I like the new thumbnails. Thank you. I think they're cleaner, trying something new, more eye catching. Doesn't seem to be helping right now with the views, but um, just trying what I can. No, I got COVID months ago, so anyways, it's not a big deal getting COVID anymore. It's like getting the flu. Like you got another flu, right? But I don't think I got it again. What do you guys feel about what do you guys feel about reaction videos? Do you guys like watching reaction videos? This is a totally separate thing. And those of you guys that caught my and George video, I was posing this question because I do have an extra channel that I was working with my friends, kind of doing like investment talk, and they don't seem to really want to do it anymore because of their schedule. So I did want to rebrand that channel. I think I'm gonna do a reaction channel. I don't know how much time I have, but I think it's quite hilarious to kind of go through TikTok videos or whatever video that's viral and kind of for me to react to it, since a lot of you guys like my reactions and my opinions. So if you guys like that, let me know. Throw a thumbs up or leave in the comments. So I'm gonna try to get that going in the near future after I'm not sick. Thoughts on Jasmine? I've never been into Jasmine, and I can't stand that name, to be honest. Yeah, they're kind of struggling right now. Oof, yeah, from that right there. So I've never really gotten into it, so I can't tell you much about it. VV has cash out now. Thoughts on a project? Well, that's a big thing. Because a lot of people complained that you can buy things in VV, but you can't cash out anything. You could only sell for their in-app token. Was it Jewel or something like that, or Crystal, whatever it was called. But now, if you could cash out, that makes the marketplace a lot more interesting. So, okay. Lord Smith, thank you. Someone says, I don't like reaction videos. And someone else says, reaction videos are entertaining. I guess it depends on how you react. And it depends on if the guy is likable or not. I'm assuming if you guys like my Q&A session, which a lot of you guys do. I know not everyone does. People tune out during my Q&A. But a lot of people do. You guys are here for Q&A, right? So if you like my reactions and my response is my opinion, then I think you'll like my reaction videos. But it's not going to just be crypto based. It's going to be primarily just whatever's trending or viral, stuff that's more entertaining. At least I need to take my mind off of just crypto 24/7. So something like that. Owly says, I don't like you, George. I love you. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Um, VV takes 10% of the cash out. I mean, they need to make something. I mean, OpenSea also takes a cut. Not 10% though. 10% does seem pretty high. Pretty high. They should down that to like 5% or 3%. I think 3% is fair. 10% is just too much. But it's better than not having it. Let's just put it that way. Any word on George Khan? No, not yet. Honestly, I've not been looking It seems like every time I'm planning GeorgeCon, the market crashes. Maybe I'm the reason. But waiting for the market to come up more before I start really planning it. George reacts to a bottle of scotch. Sure. Am I still buying Legos? I am, but still not building them. It's just there's no room for them. We are going to pay for 2 years of printing, funding money, creating fiat, 30% of total dollar supply, just like that. Yeah, we're paying now. The recession that we're seeing, the economic slowness, is caused by the Fed trying to stop inflation. That's why we're having economic slowness. That's why the GDP number coming out on Thursday will show officially that Q2, we had more economic slowness along with Q1, and we will be in recession, right? So this is Fed-caused recession. But it's not unlike any other recession before. It's very interesting. But I agree with you, which is why so many people are turning to Bitcoin. People are starting to look at something that's not Fed-controlled or not controlled by any government or bank out there. So they're turning to Bitcoin. Matt, what's your outlook for Algorand for next bull market? Seems like they're building a pretty solid foundation for other layer ones. I think Algorand has a really good shot to do really well in the bull market. 2021, they did really well, but they were still very early. They did not have any DeFi projects. They were missing that, but they got into NFTs. They got into a few other things, like, for example, their FIFA relationship. That's an NFT play. And they started making inroads in Latin America. They power El Salvador's their systems. So I think they go do pretty well after we come back. Right now, not so much, but after we come back. Tyrone, yes, your chat is visible. I can see you. The Fed and ECB. Yes, I forgot. ECB, you got to throw ECB in there. The ECB, they're really late. They're really late to the rate hike game. They just raised it by 50 basis points, and their next one is September. They're not nearly as aggressive as the U.S. They were claiming that, their inflation wasn't as bad as the U.S., but if you measure, it's actually worse. So by delaying it, it might make things worse. Just like Japan. Japan has not raised any rate hikes. And the Japanese yen is crashing. Look at the euro. The euro's crashed, right? So in those situations, things might be worse. Probably is worse. All right, guys. Matt, I appreciate it. Stagflation, I think that's about right. Although I tend to think that's not going to be the case. Here's why. Because there was so much money printed in 2021, and so many people, especially the rich, that made tremendous amount of money. Even with 2022's crash, they are still way up. Okay? And you look at it, I don't have it with me, but you look at statistics, the rich made so much money over last year. So I'm thinking they're going to be buying. They're going to be buying the dip. They're not going to wait until like a bottom, right? Because no one really knows where bottom is. But I think they already started buying. And when they truly go in and buy hard when the market flips around, I think the market could recover way faster than people think because of how much money there is on the sidelines. That's just me. I'm thinking that. A lot of people think, well, no, we're going to be in stagflation for years. I don't think so. I think the rich has plenty of money stocked up, waiting to enter the market, and when they start buying, things could come up really quickly. So that's what I'm anticipating. To be or not to be Bitcoin, aren't they both the same answer? Yes. When do you feel like the relief rally will end? 30, 40, 50K? Who knows? Who knows? As we head higher, you know, Bitcoin will consolidate. There's going to be more shorts liquidated. And as more money comes in, FOMO will kick in again. Who knows where it's going to stop? Maybe it never stops. It'll just take breathers, and then we just continue to trend upwards. It may take a while, but that's why you got to have patience. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Overall, go buy some Mega Millions. That's the best way to become a millionaire. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so, you know, we got a lot to worry about this week, right? Are we going to get into recession? I would argue we're already in recession. We'll just get confirmation. Is it going to devastate the market? I don't think that will, but I think what the Fed, you know, what Powell says during his press conference on Wednesday could, but I think more or less it's not. I think he's just going to say 75 basis points. Even if he says 100 basis points, I think it's all priced in already, to be honest. I think it's all priced in. So, but then we also have earnings to worry about. Like Walmart cut their forecast, and this is devastating for all retailers, right? So who knows? These big tech companies, if they come out with the same kind of outlook cuts and stuff like that, that could have a big effect, right? So again, we'll have to see. We'll take it a day at a time. But Bitcoin is still strong. Crypto market is strong. Both are not going away, right? So have patience, my friends, and we'll get through this together. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell and tune in tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, and check out my other channels. I am George, Drivers Only, and the new George Reacts. All right, take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.